Look at that nice and shiny and clean butt. Look at how it sparkles. Look at that. Look at that butt. It fucking sparkles. Also, here's a question, chat. On a scale of 1 to 14, how would you rate my bed making skills? See, look at that. A lot of you are rating it wrong. That's not, I said 1 to 14. I said on a scale of 1 to 14. You just went on a scale of 1 to 10. See? Half of you don't even get the job. The people that went on the scale of 1 to 14, you get the job. I need a mint on the pillow. Right, I forgot about those. It's either that or it's soap. It's like a 50-50 shot, you know? Soap on a pillow is 100% required at FurryCon. See, here's the thing. Honest hot take, it's not as bad as furry conventions, but at like comic book conventions or really any other convention, there should be a dedicated vendor that is giving out free samples of deodorant for the weekend, or even just washing, shampoo, body wash, toiletries. They should have a dealer that's there selling that stuff or giving it out. And here's the thing, I've seen it happen once. I think it was at PAX where Twitch was giving out, ironically, sticks of deodorant. Here's another hot take. As much as you might think, furries are much, much better about self-care in the sense of hygiene than other geeks and nerds at other conventions. And I've experienced this firsthand. I think the worst smelling convention I've ever been to are like local comic book conventions. It fucking reeks. It reeks of BO. Furries, I'm gonna be honest, are actually not that bad. And I experienced that like my first time at Anther New England in 2018. I'm like, it's gonna fucking reek here. Oh my God. It's like, no, not really. It smells fine. It smells fresh. A bit of a scent of rubbing alcohol, but there's no BO, there's no odor. It smells fine. So that's a little weird hot take on my end, just thought I'd say. Furries smell better than comic book nerds, and I can guarantee they probably smell better than weebs at anime conventions. So hey, furries win. No BO, no bullshit, exactly. And that's the thing as well, if anyone smells bad and wants to give me a hug, I'm like, dude, you fucking reek. Please do not touch me. I think that's a bit harsh for me to say, but it's reasonable. Saying a lot too, since you have the super high temperature suits. Yeah, exactly. Like furries have this weird, like originally I can guarantee that back when like conventions started, it started being like bad, but then they realized, oh wait, you've got like fur suits, so you kind of have to take care of these, otherwise they literally smell of mold and bacteria, and that's not good. That's not good at all. We don't want this being like a football convention where like we don't clean the gear, or granted they probably clean the gear, and it just smells like BO in a day after a football game. It's awful. But like, we don't need that. That's the thing. I know furries drive it into the ground like every single convention. Like, hey, if you haven't already, remember the 6-2-1 rule. 6 hours of sleep, 2 showers, 1 meal, or two meals, 1 shower. Either way, I usually go for the first one. 2 showers, 1 meal, because sometimes I can fucking reek. So I'll take a shower. And that's what I've just kind of noticed. Like that little mantra isn't really needed, because at least furries, from what I've seen, are really good with hygiene. And I know, like, you know, obviously if you're comparing like apples to oranges, it's going to be different. But with regards to like that and only that, because I've experienced other conventions, comic book conventions reek. So it's just weird to see furries being like, oh wait, this smells fine. This smells better. But obviously if you're comparing furries to furry conventions, or yourself to furry conventions, it's going to be maybe a bit different, unless you do smell. So, you know, 6-2-1 is easy to remember for the obvious reason. I mean, yeah. Here's your little piece of advice of the day: how to do furry conventions. Remember the 6-2-1 rule. 6 hours of sleep, 2 meals a day, and 1 shower. At the very least, these 3, and you should have a very good convention. Sometimes you can do 6-2-2, because sometimes people really do need showers. I'll be honest, I do need 2 showers a day, because I fucking reek. Deodorant or not, it just happens. I don't know why my body's this way, but gotta keep that in mind. You gotta be courteous of others. I think that's the main thing. Furries are becoming more empathetic. They're more courteous of other people and more self-conscious about their own view versus what others view of them. Wait, no, the other way around. Furries are more self-conscious about what others think about them, so therefore they are willing to shower more. I rest my case. Where's my grant money? I did the research. I think that makes sense. Furries love attention. Furries hate bad attention. They hate negativity. Smelling bad creates negativity. Therefore, I want nothing but positivity, so I'll shower as much as I need to in order to have a good opinion of me. In order for others to have a good opinion of me. Unless it's a kink, that's fair. But I think that makes sense, you know, common courtesy, not even common courtesy, but just, you know, worrying what others think about you at all times. Anxiety. Common courtesy anxiety, same thing in this sense. So I guess we got to the bottom of why furries smell better than comic book nerds and geeks. So yeah, maybe that's the headline of whatever we do with this stream. Furries smell better than comic book conventions. Furries smell better than weebs. Here's the thing, I haven't been to an anime convention. I probably should go to Anime Boston at some point whenever they do that again. But I can almost guarantee that furries smell better. I mean, have you seen the amount of like fursuit hygiene that exists? People are willing to like absolutely just protect their fursuits from anything. I mean, same with me. With that fucker, if I get anything red on it, it's done. It's done. There's no way I'm getting it out. You know, if I go to a wine tasting, I'm sure as I'll not bring in my fursuit. Yeah, furries kind of have it right now in terms of having the best hygiene in terms of all of geek culture, in my honest opinion. It might be a hot take. I could be wrong. People are probably going to make response videos to me for my hot take. But hey, I can take one sample size and it can be correct. That's what people do in medical research every day. So therefore, I'm right. I'm kidding, I'm probably not right. But no, seriously, it's a good point. I mean, this next weekend I'm going to be going to a local comic book convention with my dad because he invited me, he wants me to go with him. So it'll be interesting to go. However, it'll be a pretty good basis to take like, hey, how do people smell here? Granted, I don't want to be going around sniffing people. That's fucking weird and it's not my own thing. But seriously, if you're 10 feet away from me and I can smell you, that's a problem. And I thought that used to be a problem with furries, but honestly, it's more so a problem at comic book conventions. Like, people really need, oh my God. Quick, post it on Facebook so you can claim it as research. That's a genius idea. So I don't know. It's just a funny little thing that I've observed. So just know that the 621 rule, I think people follow it. It's just those that really don't care that don't follow it. But I think furries follow it more because they worry about the opinion of others, or they're just more courteous, which makes more sense because furries are very sweet. It goes to show, from what I said before, 50% of furries, they're the sweetest, most genuine and loving and chill people ever. The other 50%, weirdest motherfuckers I've ever met. Weirdest people on the planet that I've ever met. And granted, wish I didn't meet. But hey, this is all just assumption. I'm not writing a paper or a thesis in this. I could though, just so you know. I don't know what this has to do with anything, but we made our bed and I talked about this and now we're here. Here's the thing. What happens if I look up furry hygiene? What happens? Furries and hygiene. Oh, it's just little PSAs of like, hey, please wash stuff. Wash your fursuit. Yeah, all this stuff has been literally, what's the 621 rule? It literally came up. Oh, it's a WikiFur article. 621 rule is a convention hygiene guideline. The rule mandates the following: 6 hours of sleep per night, 2 meals per day, 1 shower per day. These numbers are lower limits and not intended as upper limits. Yeah, it shouldn't be the bare maximum that you do. The third party of the rule is to prevent con funk. All parts of help avoid con crud and concurrent post-con depression. Look, post-con depression has nothing to do with con crud. Con crud is when you don't take care of yourself and you're sick and you go to a convention and you talk and interact with people when you're sick at the convention and it all melds into one disease. That's awful. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Just please take care of yourself. That's all I can ask you to do. Take care of yourself and take care of your others. That's another piece of advice for furry conventions. I've noticed con crud is less of a thing ever since COVID precautions. Yeah, that's another thing too. I feel like a lot more people are hygienic now, at least at conventions or in the furry fandom especially. Now that COVID's been a thing. The big C, the plague. I mean, it's an interesting observation. I think it's absolutely, there's some merit to it. But yeah, either way, it's a very good point to note that because, you know, COVID happened, a lot more regulations and restrictions were put in play, but it also means that people are being a bit more hygienic, like washing their hands, washing their fursuits, taking showers. So I think that's a nice thing to sort of recognize as well, that, hey, because this is happening, overall hygiene and not smelling someone before you see them, it's a lot more of a thing, and I like it. But either way, there's something hygiene's gotten better in the fandom. And hey, just so you know, furries are better than gamers and weebs or anime lovers and comic book nerds. So that's something furries are better at than other geek culture things, because apparently we're put down a lot because we're furries. We're like on the lower end of like geek culture, like the bottom of the barrel, like that when people think of geeks and nerds, they really like push away the furries, like, oh, they're gross, at least from what I know. But just to know that we're better in the sense we take care of ourselves, at least from what I know. See, to finish off our conversation about good hygiene, look at that nice and shiny and clean butt. Look at how it sparkles. Look at that. Look at that butt. It fucking sparkles. That's a clean butt. That is the cleanest goddamn butt on Twitch. So point proven. Hygiene's good. Furries have good hygiene. Look at that. Look, it just shines. It sparkles. That is a goddamn shiny sussy. My voice cracked when I said that.